Yo, what's going on, BroTalk Nation, man? It's your boy Eric here. Let me move the mic up, man, because we about to dive into some stuff tonight. And I want to make sure that y'all hear me, y'all hear my brother Marcus, man. And man, the series that we own right now is power. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be great, man. So if you're out there in YouTube land, Spotify land, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you're watching this, wherever you're hearing this, please like, please love, please share, please subscribe so that you can get all our episodes, man, and hear this word from God, man. Tonight, man, hey, bro, what we doing, man? What we got for the people?
Man, what's going on, Bro Talk Nation, man? As usual, man, first and foremost, just go ahead and give all glory to God, man. We are
Yes,
back for
yeah,
another week, man. Like you
yeah,
said, this series we in right now has been crazy. It's already been good. We're in this series right now called It's Building, and we're on part 3.
yeah,
Shout out to everybody who's been tracking with us, man, on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Twitch. I'm on the gram right now live. Shout out to everybody who watching on live right now on my
nice.
page. Hit the Bro Talk link page. Man, it's good to know that good news is spreading and God has a word for everybody. But like I said, we're on part 3. And tonight, man, we on this thing, as you can see the title going across, called Building Consistency. All right. Bear with me, man. We got this cold going on, so my voice may be in and out, but I know God about to come in here and bless me like he did Moses and stopped him from stuttering at the right time. So I know this word about to get out, bro. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm
You
hyped.
raspy, you
I'm
raspy.
hyped. I'm ready to go. Like I feel it already that God about to do something crazy. So, like I said, we in part 3 of the series is building, called Building Consistency. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you're not on YouTube, get on there and subscribe. You on Facebook and you ain't on YouTube, head to YouTube and subscribe. Just be ready to get this word, bro.
Yeah.
Man, where do we start, bro? Where
Hey
do
man, hold on before we start the show, man.
I knew I
Thank
knew
you, sis.
I knew wife was gonna
Appreciate you. Yeah, I almost forgot. Bro Talk family, we got an elder in the building. All right. I need everybody to give a huge happy birthday to my brother Jamarcus, man. He just turned 74 and he's still ready to go. All right. I need y'all. I want y'all to celebrate my brother, man. Celebrate my brother. Happy birthday, bro.
Hey man, thank you, man. Hey, and shout out for everybody who sent up the birthday wishes from families and friends, man. I am not 74, but if I am, man, black does not crack. All right. I'm not giving out my real age on here. Just know I'm still kicking. If Abraham was able to do it, so can I. That's what we going with right now, bro. Nah, but man, for real, y'all.
Let's get it.
What do we start at, bro? I had to dive into this thing on building
Yeah.
consistency, and y'all know how I am, man. I had to go to Google. I had to
Yeah.
start it off on Google. I had to give definitions of this word consistency, right?
Yeah.
And what I got from it was it's the achievement of a level of performance that does not vary greatly in quality over time. They had little words in it like synonyms like evenness, steadiness, and stability. I know all of those words. Women heard those words and was like, "Yep, that's exactly what I need in a man." We ain't talking about that on this podcast, so
Nah.
stay with me, ladies. Okay, we're just talking about overall. All right. Now, bro, the one thing that caught me outside of the definition was where the word came from. You know, it comes from consistent, and it's a Latin root word that came from stand firm.
Mm.
That's what consistent came from, where consistency talked about. So we're talking about building consistency.
Yeah.
Um, you need to know this from the jump. You need to know we are what we repeatedly do.
Mm.
Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. So we are what we repeatedly do.
Mm.
Whatever you consistently do, that is what you're gonna become. All right. So that's where we starting this thing off with, bro. and I got the
Yeah.
scripture for us, but I wanted to. You want me to dive right into the scripture, bro?
Hey, let's get it,
All
man.
right, bro.
Let's get it. I'll drop it up here.
I put on. I'm coming from Mark. Good old Mark. One of the
My
five
guy.
up front, right? Mark, and
Yeah.
we're talking about the story where Jesus fed the 4,000, right? And I'll go
Love
ahead
it.
and read a little bit of this, like the scripture, and we're starting from 1 and we're going all the way to 12, right? Jesus
Hmm.
feeding the 4,000. It says, during those days, another large crowd gathered. Since they had nothing to eat, Jesus called his disciples to him and said, "Hey, I got compassion for these people. All of them been riding with me for 3 days and they haven't eaten nothing. If I send them home hungry, they will collapse on the way because some of them have come a long distance." His disciple answered, they said, "But where are we going in this remote place? Are we going to find any bread to feed these people?" Jesus hit him back with this line, right? He hit him back
Love it.
with, "How many loaves do you have?" I'm gonna pause right there, bro. And this has nothing to do with the podcast, but have you ever just imagined how frustrated Jesus was right there? Like, I've been preaching for 3 days straight. I've been out here
Yeah.
giving y'all just nuggets, giving y'all bread, and you gonna ask me, "Hey, where we gonna find food at right now?" Like, I need y'all to do something while I'm doing something. If you haven't noticed, whenever you ask Jesus something, he's gonna ask you, "But what do you have right now?" Like, I love how he asked the disciples when they were
Split it.
asking, like, "Hey, we need food," and Jesus turned it on them and said, what loaves do y'all have right now?" Because sometimes we don't like to search what we have right now. Like, we don't
Got
like
it.
to dive in. Hey, God, I need a new house. I need a new spouse. I need a new girlfriend, boyfriend. I need a new car. And Jesus says, "What do you have right now? I need you
Mm.
to go search for what you have right now," right? I love that
Hmm.
part. And they reply, "We only got 7." There's 4,000 people out here. And be mindful, they only were counting the men. In these times, they only
Mm.
counted the men. So there were 4,000 men. You got to double that. So it's probably 20,000 people sitting out there. And they said, "We only got 7 loaves of bread. We got to feed all these people with 7," right? He told the crowd to sit down, put them in groups. He talked about the loaves. I'm only going over this small, right? And then they found out that it had fish along with it. That's another thing. That's a good point. That's not on this right now, bro. But I loved how when Jesus made them go search their own stuff, they found
Hmm.
extra. I did this in
Mm.
the living water. Like, most of the times when Jesus tells us, "How many do you have?" and we start
Yeah.
looking in our own life and we say, "Oh, Jesus, I got this, but I didn't even know that I had this cousin down the line who really loves me and has a hookup for me on another job." It's because
Mm.
Jesus sent you back to go find the extra. Like, when he's telling you how many do you have, you probably missing the extra out of that, right?
Yeah.
So, bro, like,
Absolutely.
after this, they Jesus break the bread, right? And he feeds the thousands. Pretty much, he
Hmm.
feeds the thousands, right? But at the end of this, it was something that was very important that we're gonna dive into a little later, bro. The Pharisees came right to him after this, and they wanted to test him, and they said, "Why does this?" He said, they asked him, "Show me a sign." And Jesus hit
Hmm.
him back with, "Why does this generation always ask for a sign? Truly, I tell you, no sign will be given." I need y'all to remember that, because we're gonna hit that later, bro. We're gonna
Man.
hit that later. That's where we
Man.
at right now, bro. We there. We're there, bro. I know. Let's go, bro. I'm gonna
Hey, that last line, man, that's gonna be
yeah,
a word. I already know it. I already know it. But hey, man, this build up to where we're getting to in tonight's episode, man. Like, I love that story because it talks about one trust, right? When we're building things, we gotta trust the blueprint to what we build,
yeah,
right? God, Jesus is on this. Just he's been preaching. He's been sending out this word.
yeah,
He's been, what I'm saying, like you said, dropping gems on everybody. And now people are hungry. I like to think that everybody travel for revival, right? My grandma and them used to take me to revival. We used to travel, go everywhere.
yeah.
Didn't know why, but everybody was in there traveling. I got a little hungry, right? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Sitting in church all day. One thing grandma had was a bag of candy, right? She
Oh,
always had extra.
Stay with them strawberry candies.
Hey, with the strawberry candies, the peppermint, the Werthers, right? The butterscotches.
Oh,
Like
man.
she always had extras, right?
Yeah.
And it's crazy how we were sitting in church and everybody always asked, "Hey, you got one more piece in there?"
Mm,
They always had extras. And I like to think that we're starting off where the foundation is. Jesus is asking the disciples a question because they don't even know what they have at this point.
that's so good, bro.
Let's go, man.
That's so
Go
good,
ahead.
bro. I love that. And like I said, this wasn't even a part of like I wish, man, if we could stay here like forever. There's so
Yeah,
much good in this, like in this verse where you could
yeah.
break this down. But I wanted to make
Mhm.
that point clear that sometimes God is gonna turn it back on you and like, what do you have? I know what you
Yeah,
asked for,
yeah,
but
yeah,
what do you have?
yeah, yeah,
There's a man named Wolfs. I don't know this dude. I didn't really Google him, but he has a law. It
yeah.
says Wolf's law states that the body conforms and adapts to the direction it is subject to. That's
Mm.
what Wolf law is. Pretty much to
Mhm.
break it down in Jamarcus terms, your body's going to do what you make it used to. Your body's going to do whatever you make it used to, right? So if you
Mhm.
do push-ups every day, your body's going to start getting used to doing push-ups. You're gonna look in shape, you're gonna look fit, you're gonna whatever. If you eat hamburgers all day and sit on the couch, that's what your body's gonna get used to, right?
Mhm.
So you got to keep this in mind about building consistency. This is where we're starting. Like when
Yeah.
you're building consistency, you're building something. Like you're building like what the definition said,
Mhm.
steadiness, stability, and something, right? So
Mhm.
it made me started thinking of this first point that I'm gonna go over. You have direct control over consistency.
Mm.
You have direct control over it. It's not a skill, it's not a talent. You have direct control over it.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's able to deal with consistency. Everybody. Like it doesn't matter if you're good, if you're bad, if you're fast, if you're slow, if you got it everybody has direct control over it, right? It's
Mhm.
something you have to do each and every day over and over and over again to get the results that you want, right? So like this is what I'm trying to get to y'all. There
Yeah,
is
yeah.
there is nothing that somebody else is doing better than you. They're just doing it more consistent than you.
Come on
It's
now.
just like athletes. The top athletes that are at the top of their prime are more consistent. I don't know if everybody saw the new film on Netflix about the new dream team with Kobe, LeBron, and
The
Carmelo and all
redeemed team.
Wade, right? There
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
part in this movie, and this is why Kobe's one of my favorite players, RIP. There was a part in this movie when they started bringing him on when they lost the year before, and they brought Kobe on the team, and the team went out to Las Vegas, and they had a whole bunch of young people, and Kobe's on there. And there was a time where Carmelo, D Wade, LeBron, Chris Paul, and all of them said they went out and they were coming back in from the club. It had to be like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., or something like that. And they said Kobe was on the elevator going down in his gym clothes. And they were asking him, like, what are you doing? And he was like, bro, I'm about to go put up shots. Like, I'm going to do what I always do in the season. I'm gonna
Mhm.
do the same thing I do in the season in the off season. Because if I
Mhm.
do it in the off season, when I get in my season,
Mm.
good.
That's
See,
key.
did y'all catch that? Like he was
That's
doing
key.
what he did in his off season. So when he got in his season, there was no missteps. So
Woo.
like you that's what I'm trying to tell you. You got to be consistent to what you're doing. Like it that's what you're building. There's no skill and talent. There's just more people being more consistent than you. There we go, bro.
Hey man, that's hey. I'm gonna tell y'all, man. Y'all should go check that out, man. I have a newfound respect for Kobe because Kobe was the example of when you put hard work in
Yeah,
and what you reap what you sow.
that's good.
That's
Yep.
simply what my brother is telling y'all right now.
Big fact.
Like what you consistently reap, you will sow that. What you consistently work on, what you consistently feed your mind, what you consistently feed your heart.
Yeah.
Because if y'all learned in the last episode, the heart and the mind, they both have the same brain cell,
Oh, we going
right?
back there too. Ooh.
So what you consistently do, right, is going to dictate how your life turns out. Like,
That's
if
good.
y'all didn't know, it takes 10,000 hours to master something.
I
Think
like
about
that.
that. 10,000 hours to master something, right? So, roughly in about 90 days or so, you can create a new habit. Now, with that kind of data and knowledge and science, you know the main thing about this is it's all about the repetition.
Yeah.
It's all about the reps you're getting in. See, a lot of this stuff that Jesus went through, he consistent. Like if you read the Bible, some of the stories are going to sound the same. You're going to consistently hear the same story over and over and over. It's for a reason. It's to start building the reps up, like Kobe. When you're not in season, you're working and building on your reps, right?
Yeah.
When you're not in a storm, you're working and building on your reps so that when you get in a storm,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know how to navigate,
That's good.
right? Sometimes like we get so like we don't understand like to go back to the scripture like we in this new era where we want things to be like microwave. We want
Yeah.
the abs now. We want the body now. You know what I'm saying? You got guys out here getting BBLs, women getting BB. Like you're getting all this stuff, but nobody wants to go in the gym and put in the work. Like one of the great things, and this I'm gonna make it real tangible for y'all. I love seeing videos of people that are like obesely, like overweight. They're like 3, 4, 500 pounds, and they show their journey, and they're going day and every day after the next day after the next day. And you know the crazy part, you don't see the results right away.
Yeah.
It's usually around that 6 month period where boom, the weight start cutting. And
That's
it
good.
consistently going and then it keeps cutting. It's like, man, it looks like a total new person. But it's not that they're a total new person, it's that they made a decision to be consistent and to do the work. And
Yeah.
that's all that we're talking about tonight, man. Building consistency. Let's go.
That's good, bro. I love how you made that tangible because I'm gonna tie right into that, and it's
Mm.
literally tying into the last part you said. You got to understand this: one intense session doesn't give you the results that you want. Like you could turn this into working out. Like if you're trying to lose weight and you say, "Man, man, I'm going to the gym," and you do 1 hour of good workout and that's it, it's not going to give you the results that you need, right? It's the over and over. So think
Yeah.
about that spiritually, like think about that for yourself. You're
Mm.
trying to break habits that you've been doing your entire life.
Come
One
on.
Bible study, one
Mm.
intensified reading of the Bible or meditation, one prayer line, one podcast from us, one whatever, one intense session is not about to give you the results that you need. See,
Mhm.
like he was saying, you're gonna have to do this over and over again. You're building on stepping stones. You're going
Yeah,
from
yeah,
here to here to here to
yeah.
get to the results you need. That one intense session is not about to change all of that. So this is why you have to do these things over and over again. And I like to say this because I need y'all to catch. I need y'all to catch how important this is. And he brought it up about like what Jesus do. You know, this wasn't Jesus' first time feeding thousands. I only gave y'all the second time. Like
Mm.
before this, this was when he fed 4,000. The first time he fed 5,000. So I need you to stop right now. And like when I read this and I missed this, I took the time to be like, it don't we serve like just imagine how good of a God we serve that can do a
Mhm.
miracle 2 times. Like where in your life did God do a miracle for you 2 times for the same thing that he did
Man,
before? He on that constant thing, that consistent
come on.
thing. Like he did this twice. We serve
Mm.
a God that's able to do a miracle not once but do it twice. That should let you feel like, man, okay, uh, God is on his consistent thing right now. But also with that, his math, the kingdom math don't add up. I really want y'all to understand kingdom math really don't add up. The first time he fed 5,000, right, with less bread than he did on the 4,000, and they had more left over with less. If you do a worldly math, that don't equal up. There's a negative right there. But somehow God's negative or the kingdom negative always turns to a positive. He
Mm-hmm.
fed more people with less and they had more left over. He's consistent on doing what? Abundantly giving us. Like I'm just giving y'all like a map out plan on how God does this thing consistently. Like this is where we're trying to get to with the word consistent. So, I wanted to make that part like perfectly
Man,
clear.
yeah,
I
yeah,
totally missed that the first time I heard these stories until I had to
yeah,
read this, like getting ready for this pie. I was like, yo, did Jesus really just feed 5,000 with one loaf of bread and two fish? And then they had 12 baskets left over? Whoa, well, that math ain't adding up. And then
man.
he did the miracle again, bro. Like, that
Hey,
was,
that's the power of God right there,
yeah.
man. That's so good. Go ahead, man.
Bro, and then like to tie in on the last one, because you went to the heart and brain, right? Think
Mm-hmm.
about working out, like he was talking about. When we're trying to work out, we consistently work out. Like I'm about to work my arms, so I'm going in here. I'm about to hit these 90s, sitting up here faking like I'm curling. I'm gonna hit some push-ups, hit some bands. I'm gonna consist. If I want to change my arm, I'm gonna consistently like work out my arms. But are we doing it for every muscle that we have? Are we
Mm,
just doing it for the outer look to look good on the outside? But what about your heart and your brain? Like, what workout do you have set up for those things to get results in?
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be vulnerable right now. I am. Porn for me, I used to think it wasn't that bad. First, it started to feel a temporary void of satisfaction for something in my life that I was missing for so long to feel wanted and to get attention. But like any other drug or addiction, it became numb. I was so doing it so much or doing it so consistent that it
Mm,
became numb, and I would find myself watching it anywhere and everywhere. Like, what I'm trying to tell y'all is whatever you got your body, whatever you got your heart and mind doing every day, over and over and over again,
mm-hmm.
you will follow what you're doing over
Man,
and over and over again. I was
so
constantly feeling my mind and heart, but expecting something to be different coming out. Like you filling yourself up with you filling yourself up with Kool-Aid and you expecting to sweat out something different. Like this is what you doing. You filling yourself up with pornography or filling yourself up with lies, filling yourself with whatever it is, and you expect something to come out differently. We know the Bible tells us what's gonna come out of us. The Bible tells us we throw up everything,
mm,
adultery. We throw up all of these things because we're filling ourselves with it. So what I'm trying to tell you is that when you building this consistent, know that whatever you're doing, your body's gonna follow. That's why I don't know how to get it.
hey, that's bro, that's perfect, man. Like you can't keep those same habits, man. Like
Yeah,
something has to change. Like in order to if you spiritually feel like you're disconnected with God, something has to change. Like I know the 90-day Bible plan and the 13-day Bible verse of the day, like all of that is cute, but there's got to be some consistency. You can do a 13-day Bible plan, but after on the 14th day, let's start another plan,
yeah,
right? Let's create some more consistency. And I'm not just talking to y'all, I'm talking to me too. Because if you haven't understood the walk with God, you may be feeling good today, but tomorrow there may be a storm.
that's good. That's good.
And and just like athletes, if and I'll give the example. It's my team, and they trash right now, and I'm it's cool. It's a rough season.
It is.
AD, Anthony Davis. I'm not trying to hit on the man. I'm just speaking to what he said and why Stephen A. jumped on his neck. He said he didn't touch a ball till April, but the brother hadn't played ball since the end of most of 2 seasons ago. Like, let's
Yeah.
be honest,
Big
right?
facts.
So if you're not consistently in the gym working on your jumper, how can you expect to come into the next season scoring and averaging 20, 30 points a game? How can you build upon your last field goal percentage from last year to become better?
Yeah.
Right? Athletes have to consistently work on their craft. Your craft is your walk with God, your relationship with God.
Oh, that's good. That's it right there.
You have you have to consistently work on it because this is how we treat God. This is how we call on Jesus. We treat them like side pieces, right? We
Yeah.
treat them like they're just they're gonna be there if I call them.
Mm.
Jesus and God is not a call center. They're not hotline
Yeah.
because you feeling some kind of way or you in a little bit of trouble. Here in San Antonio, you get in a car accident, throw up the Ford. They want you to call this lawyer. His phone number's all Ford. That ain't God, man. You can't consistently say, well, if I get in a little trouble, I just hotline bling. No, you got to consistently build that relationship with God and consistently keep going to Him to lay the things that you're carrying from the past still in your present.
That's good.
I'm gonna leave that right there.
Bro, like I really want y'all to know, like, this is for me. Like, this is for me. This is one of my biggest struggles, is having a balance of what to be consistent with. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling y'all, it is hard. Like, I've told I've told my wife, I told people that are close to me in my community, like, man, I want to get so much better at, like, coming into here and highlighting this book and, like, breaking down these stories, not just for the podcast, but I want to have stories for when somebody walks up to me on the street and be like,
Mm-hmm.
man, I'm going through this and that. I want to be able to not just spit out the Bible, because I'm not going to school for it or nothing like that, but be able to help, like, in the need of where it is, like, not be going through my own storm right then and there and miss out on my purpose. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like,
That part.
this is a struggle for me. It is. I
Mm-hmm.
know for me, I don't know how everybody else does, but, like, when I got things going on, I like to work on this and then work on that and then prioritize that and then whatever. I need y'all to understand this. Like, when it comes to this walk with God, when it comes to your life, God is priority. It doesn't matter if the marriage is going bad. It doesn't matter if the kids are running wild. It doesn't matter about anything else. The one thing that you need to make sure that you are consistent with is your relationship with God. Because if you are, like, consistent with that, everything else will fall into place. As soon as you put them on the back burner and say, I'm going to put my marriage first and work on that, you now remove God out of something that He has a better control and a better help over with. So, you gotta maintain consistency with your relationship with God. You gotta maintain a conversation with Him, a prayer with Him, time with Him, like 5 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is. You need to be building towards consistency. Like you said, if you're doing a plan, you got to make sure that you do this plan every day. Put it in your head that I'm gonna do this plan every day, because you're gonna talk to your spouse every day. You're gonna talk to your kids every day. You're gonna watch your game. You're gonna play your game every day. So why
Mm-hmm.
can't you do this? You got to prioritize God with consistency. Like, like, you hit a strong point on that. And I felt that when you said, like, this is, I'm talking to me too. This is definitely something that I struggle with. So I know people are out there struggling. This is why we talking about this. Like, these
Yeah.
podcasts
Yeah.
be for us. Like, for real, for it's something we going through or something we own right
Yeah.
now. And
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely, I know definitely I'm trying to build consistency with God and have God in on everything that I'm trying to build consistency with. If that's being a better leader at work, if that's being a better husband, being a better
Yeah.
father, being a better son, or whatever, I'm like, God, I need you here with me on this. Like, I cannot do this by myself.
Yeah.
So y'all gotta understand that. Something else I wrote down right here, bro, before we move on, I put a star by it. Consistency does not discriminate. It
Nope.
doesn't discriminate. What I mean by that is you can have bad habits that you get consistent on.
Mm,
I know for a fact
that's
you
so
can.
that's good.
And I
Yeah.
need y'all to know that because it will lead, it's an other side to it. Like we're on here talking about right now, like, hey man, get in the Bible and read, spend time with God, whatever, whatever. There, like I told y'all earlier, porn, I was consistent with it, feeding myself with it.
Hmm.
There's no discriminating. Like there's no discrimination with this at all. So like you need to know that you can go down a bad path with whatever you being consistent on, and you need to know that you got to stop certain things. Like
Man.
you need to know that. So I wanted to make sure like I'm letting the viewers know that I'm reconfirming it to myself that
Yeah.
it does not discriminate. Like
It
like I
don't.
told y'all in the beginning of all of this, you have direct control over it.
Yeah.
On what you're being consistent on, you have control over it. You
Yeah.
can start it and stop it. It's
Mm,
only if you want to. That part.
man. Hey, that's look. Sometimes, man, you got to gangrene some stuff out your life, man. And I mean, cut it all the way off.
Mm,
Like Prophet OT Genesis, cut it. You got to cut that stuff out your life, man, because and I know everybody done this. Have you ever had friendships that you was like, you know what, they ain't no good for my life? Or have you ever been in a relationship with someone and you know they were toxic,
yeah,
right? So what did you do? You didn't stay with them. You might still be with them, and we're gonna keep continue to pray for you guys that y'all be strengthened through the Lord. Um, but you know that relationship toxic. So what do you
yeah,
need to do with it? You need to let it go, right? Because God already told you. But if you consistently stay there, guess what the outcome is gonna be? You're wishing upon this Disney movie star that this relationship is it's gonna turn around and it's gonna work. It may, right? It may. But that comes with the consistency of what are you doing in those times you're not focused on that person, or what are you doing in the times that you're in a toxic relationship at work?
yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my brothers, it doesn't discriminate. You can be at work, you can be in church and have a toxic relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and it's still you're building upon that consistency of that toxic relationship. So in those kind of times, you have to you got to cut it, man. You have to say, hey, today, this is it. This stop right here.
Yeah.
I would no longer watch porn. I would no longer keep arguing with this person. I'm gonna cut them out my life. I would no longer continue to not pray when I have my timer on my phone that says pray at 12 o'clock
There you go.
right? You see, you got to also set up things to help trigger you to get into the mood of consistency.
That's good, bro.
Let's go.
Hey man, hey, I'm a hold right there before I move on. I love how you said you gotta have triggers, you gotta have these gates, these things
Mm-hmm.
that like push you to like. I'm not
Yeah.
even gonna lie to y'all. Like it may sound like I really don't care. It may sound like whatever. I used to put a lock on my phone, like,
Mm-hmm.
and a code that I like somebody else will put in so that I couldn't search certain stuff, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's okay. Like if you
Yeah.
need help, you got to go get help. Like God
Yeah.
says in the Bible, I am stronger when you are weak.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's telling you. Like, God, I'm
Exactly.
weak. I need help with this. Go
Mm-hmm.
find somebody stronger to give you these triggers to help
Mm-hmm.
you out to do that. Like you said,
Yeah.
hey, man, set an alarm on your phone. Like, hey, every day at 12, I'm going to take 5, 10, 15 minutes and I'm going to stop doing whatever I'm doing and I'm going to
Yeah.
go outside and I'm going to give God thanks. And
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
starting something right there.
Man, that's
You're
good.
starting
Yeah.
something. That 5, 10, 15 minutes may turn into 30. You know what? I got extra time before I go to sleep. So I'm going to do it 2 times now. Like you're
Yeah.
starting. This is why this title says building.
Mm,
Building. You
mm,
cannot build a house without putting 1 brick down. It doesn't
mm.
start with 1,000 bricks. It starts with 1 brick. So, like, that's what we're trying to say to y'all. Like, bro, like, I loved how you made that point. Like,
Yeah.
giving these things to trigger you to do
Mm,
more things. Like, what is your brick gonna be? What is
mm.
your 1 brick gonna be? Like, that's what I'm saying to y'all. What is your 1 brick gonna be, bro?
Yeah.
That was good,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I also made another point, bro, that stood out to me, right? Because you said it earlier, like what Jesus did throughout the Bible, like his entire time here. Like, you know how many miracles he did? Like, he
Yeah.
did a lot. You know, right before this miracle right here, like he healed a deaf and a mute man. Like right before this one in the Bible, he healed a deaf and mute man. Like Jesus was doing so many miracles, but how I told you there's good and bad consistency. I need you to know this. Good consistency starts with purpose.
Ooh, okay.
Good consistency starts with purpose. Jesus could have did way more miracles than what he did in the Bible. Like he could have did this. Every day Jesus could have did a miracle. Like, you know what? I feel like making the sky purple. Boom, miracle. Like I'm gonna walk outside. You know what? Grass, let's make it a different color. Miracle. He could have just done so many miracles. But if you pay attention to the miracles he did, it was with purpose. It was so that the kingdom can become greater. Every miracle he did had a purpose behind it. So that's where I was like getting at right there, boss. Because like that little line that I started with, that little line I told y'all to hold on to in Mark
Hmm.
8, 11 and 12, where the
Yeah.
Pharisees came to him and said they wanted to test him and make him do a sign. What did Jesus say back to him? Why does this generation always ask for a sign? Truly, I tell you, no sign will be given. Jesus wasn't about to do anything just for any reason.
Man, come on with it.
I told y'all to hold
That's
on
good.
to it
That's good.
because he could have did something right there. He could have. He could have gave him a sign all day long, but it was no purpose behind it. He wasn't about to start something that wasn't good consistency. Did y'all catch that? Like right
That's
there, he
good,
could have
bro.
started something and
That's
gave them
good.
a sign. What would have happened? The next day, more people would have been like, God, can you just give me a sign that I'm gonna be a millionaire?
Mm.
Ain't nobody never asked that. God, can you give me a sign that he or she is the one? Nobody never
Mm.
asked that. Am I the only one who? Am I the only one? Like this, what I'm trying to tell y'all. God
Yeah.
don't do that. He ain't
Mm.
about to start building bad consistency. That's why at
Facts.
that point, bro, good consistency starts with purpose. Man, woo.
Hey man, he just messed up all y'all, man. He just messed up everybody thinking, man. Everybody be saying, I prayed that prayer so many times, bro. Hey God, if this is it, let me know. Send me a sign. Right?
Bro.
You're not getting one. All
Yeah.
right. You're not getting one. I'm just letting you know right now because if you go back and think about it, bro, God never sent you one. Not one time.
Mm,
But through constant prayer, through constant going back to him and calling out for him,
yeah.
he heard your cry. He
Mm,
answered your prayer.
that's
See, there's
good.
a scripture in the Bible, and this scripture makes so much more sense, bro. It says, knock and keep on knocking, ask and keep on asking, right?
I'm there with you.
And it will be given to you. I'm paraphrasing right now, but
Yeah, yeah.
that's what that scripture means. He wants you to keep on asking because that means you're making a set, consistent
Oh,
point of time to meet with him.
I just
And
got
that's
all
all
that.
he wants.
I just got
That's
all
all
that.
he wants. Man, I what that made sense, so much sense,
No, I receive that what you just said. I receive it. I receive it.
bro. Like we be praying these wishes. These ain't prayers. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. They wishes. God don't do magic. That's of the enemy, right? For all you
Yeah.
scholars out there, y'all might want to chastise me like Kanye, but it's cool. Um, God don't do wishes, man. He's not the Make a Wish Foundation. That's
Yeah.
man made. Okay, man makes wishes happen because that's what we do. But when you consistently make that time for God, He will answer. He said that you can ask and I'll give it to you, right? Like you can ask, you can pray for things. If it's in His will for your life,
Oh,
it will
that's it.
happen.
That's it right there.
See, that's that disclaimer to building consistency that we don't like. Yeah, I'm sorry. You thought it was just gonna keep. If I keep going to God and say, "Hey, make me a millionaire," well, there's also some other requirements. You got to do the work. Faith without work is dead. So your wishes will die.
Mm, it's
They're
good.
gonna fall on dead ends. So all these things, all these script, man, all this stuff is like coming. I got like a new light on that. You can't continue to just sit there and pray and not do nothing.
Yeah.
You're making a wish. You're not. See, your faith, like my brother said a couple podcasts before, your faith is an action, right? If you believe in God, you showing consistent action that what His Word says is true.
Mm,
That what you praying for will happen because of the action that's behind it.
yeah.
He said, I just need you to have faith of a mustard seed. I need you to take a little bit of action and believe in that action by
Yeah.
consistently doing that thing, consistently praying, consistently making time for me so that I can guide you and give you wisdom along the way, and you will have it.
That's good, bro.
God, I prayed for a relationship where I felt love. I kept working at it. I failed at it a lot of times, right? People know my story. I was engaged when we started this podcast. Then I wasn't.
Mm,
This is my third time being married, technically too, but we ain't going off technicality. Been married 3 times. Most people are like, hey, man, you should quit. I've heard that so many times.
mm.
But because I was praying and consistently not trying to be in the streets, like how today's society say I should be, God sent me my wife.
That's good, bro.
See, the blessing comes in the consistency. The blessing
Oh,
comes in, man. The blessing comes in the consistency. Let's go. I'm gonna leave it at that.
bro. Oh man. Hey, I first off, I'm just gonna go back to, bro. I receive. I'm still tripped over on that whole keep knocking, keep asking. Like we did a podcast on that, but
Mm-hmm.
now it's hitting so different now
Mm-hmm.
because I'm
Yeah.
like, dang, you said keep knocking, keep asking. All he was asking for is keep being consistent. That's all he
Facts.
was saying right
That's
there.
it.
That's all he
Yep.
was saying. Just keep being consistent. And I literally I just caught it now, and that's so good. That's right, sis. Proud to be your wife. You better stand up. Like, oh, man, but bro, like I man, I received that. I'm sitting here like with goosebumps because I'm still tripping. Like
Yeah.
that's all
Yeah.
you were asking for was just keep being consistent. That's so good, bro. Like you also said something that I wrote down just to stay in here. You need to know this. You need to know that good consistency will be taken for granted. You need to know this. If I don't tell you this, I'm not helping you. And let me make it perfectly clear. Let me give y'all a result.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who woke up today and said, God, I thank you for keeping the earth in the space up and us not falling to death? Like, nobody wakes up and say, God, thank you for not letting the earth fall. Right? Like, nobody's saying that.
I don't think I've ever prayed that.
No, nobody's never prayed that or said that. Like, can you imagine if God cut off oxygen for like 1 minute and was like,
Man,
and you just, uh, oh my bad, y'all, and cut it back on? Like, what I'm trying, it's
man.
funny,
Ooh,
but
that's
what I'm
good.
trying to get to y'all is, because good consistency gets taken for granted.
Yeah.
Like, we don't even say that prayer to God about the earth not falling because He's been consistent with it for so many years. Like, oxygen hasn't left, so you don't even say anything about it because it's consistent. And I
Hmm.
need you to know that good consistency, once you start building this, it will be taken for granted. I need you to understand that the enemy
Yeah.
wants to tell you to look, you've been doing so good at building up this consistency, and they don't care. So forget that stuff. It's time to turn up. You've been a good employee on the job. You never been late. You done set a standard. You always turning your stuff on time. And look, they take you for granted. So show out. Start being late. Start cursing people out. You've
Man.
been good in the marriage. You've been good in the friendship. You've been good as a sister, mom, and brother so much that they're starting to walk over you. They taking your kindness for granted. So turn up, show out, go be something or somebody that you're really not. He wants you to get out of character. He wants you to do what? Stop your consistent. He wants to stop it. Why? Because he knows in the consistency, he said it best. A blessing is coming. He don't want you to get that blessing. He don't want you to, hey man, I know we probably haven't been paying attention to you on the job and may have been looking at other people because we were trying to build somebody up. But we wanted to let you know that we already submitted your name in for a promotion. Hey, I know that I might have been, sister and brother, I may have been doing this and talking to you this way, and I didn't say this or that, but I want you to know I love you, and we named our child after you that's coming. Like, we wanted you to be the
Hmm.
godfather or God mother of our child or whatever. He don't want you to get the blessing, so he would tell you, hey, it's time to stop being consistent. I need you to turn up. I need you to stop right now and shake everything up. I'm here to tell you, do not stop because it's going to be taken for granted.
Man.
I'm sorry. God does not stop being consistent with us when we mess up. He don't turn off the oxygen because Jamarcus did this and that. No, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no.
Yeah.
God is a everlasting God. He's a
Mm,
constant God. He
mm.
does what? I told y'all the Latin root. He stands firm. I'm about to tie this up right now because this ain't the end of it. But why am I saying this? Because like I told you, Jesus wants you to stand firm. There's
Hmm.
a verse in the Bible, Luke 21:19. Let me tell you what it says. It says, being consistent wins life.
Mm. The whole thing.
That's the scripture. Luke 21:19 says, being consistent wins life. The
Dang.
enemy doesn't want you to do what? Win life. So he wants to put that in your head that you're getting taken for granted and it's time for you to turn up. I'm here to tell you right now, good consistency will be taken for granted. Don't let that shake you. Continue being consistent because why? You're trying to win at life. That we ain't over yet. We ain't over. But I had to get that out, bro.
Man. Hey, the enemy wants you to take a cheat day.
Who tell him
Follow,
again?
follow the workout people out there. Y'all know about the cheat days, right? You've been eating healthy all week. Friday is my cheat day, right?
Yeah.
Let me suggest something. What if you never had a cheat day? What if you continue to consistently eat healthy and consistently work out? How much faster could you get to the result that you want?
Oh, that's good. That's good, bro.
Hmm? Makes sense. Like if I continue to go to God when I'm angry
Yeah.
and and lay my anger at his feet, lay my frustration, my anxiety, whatever I'm feeling, lay it at his feet consistently. And if I just take a cheat day and say, you know what, not today, I'm gonna snap today. How much faster could you get to the blessing? Like, you can't take days off when it comes to consistency in God, right?
That's
You
good.
can't take days off when it comes to your prayer time. You can't take days off when it comes to, hey, that person is antagonizing you and they've done it before, but you still got to show them grace. You
Oh,
still got to show them love.
man, that's tough.
See,
That's tough.
see, this is when it gets hard to be consistent. Like consistency, hey, it's gonna be tough. Consistency is tough,
Yeah.
right? And I'm gonna tell y'all, like, doing the same thing, and we talked about this with the doors. Consistency in God, it's gonna look boring. It's the same thing. God said every day He wants you to forgive 7 times 7 or 77. I forgot the number, but He wants you to forgive more than what people do to you every day, right? He wants you to continue to bring your problems and your struggles to Him. He said that you got to love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Mm,
That's every day.
yeah.
That's not, He didn't say on Sunday you ain't got to love nobody. He never
Yeah.
said that, right? He never said that. So that means it's going to be some tough times in consistency. There ain't no cheat days. And I know I use all kinds of improper English. I don't care. I need you to understand what I'm saying.
That's good, bro.
You you gotta, man, bro, what you said, I received that.
That that
I
that's
received that.
good, bro. And
God,
it ties right into like the end part of this, man. It ties right into my the third point of tonight's show. Follow the plan as best as you can.
man.
Follow the plan as best as you can. And the reality is, a lot of people struggle with this. The
Yeah.
reality is that we will never be perfect as Jesus, the living flesh that was. We're never gonna be that perfect. Like literally, Romans 3:23 tell us, "For all have sinned and fall short."
Mm,
You're never gonna be that. That's the reality. You're
mm,
never gonna hit perfection. It was already here. But you need to know that the other side of this is to know about Philippians 3:16. But we must hold on to the progress that has already been made.
man. That's good.
No cheat days.
None.
Like you already started building consistency. You got to hold on to that progress. Yes, the reality is that we will all fall short, but the flip side is you hold on to the progress that was already made, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got to understand when I say follow the plan as best as you can, I'm really saying follow Jesus as the best you can. That's the plan. He came here and laid it out for us.
Mm-hmm.
You said that it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be hard. Let me tell you, Jesus did it all the way to the cross.
Mm,
He got on the cross and was stabbed in the side, nails in his hand, and still said, "Forgive them, for they not know what they do."
I don't know.
Consistent all the way to the end. Showed grace all the way to the end.
Mm-hmm.
He consistently did that. So when I say follow the plan as best as you can, I'm saying follow Jesus the best you can. Paul gave it to us. My good boy Paul gave it to us in a good talk. He
Yeah,
said
yeah.
none of us will reach or achieve perfection and will not, but I will
Mm-hmm.
keep on pressing on. Let me
Yeah.
tell you, I broke down the word press and I came up with this. P means purpose, R means resilience, E means encouragement, S means stewardship, and the last one means salvation. These
Ooh,
words are just what I think pressing on deals with and how we're going to build with consistency. Your purpose always going to be in front of you. So while you build in
that's
consistency,
good.
like we said, good consistency starts with a purpose, right? To know that you're going to need resilient if you're going to start trying to be consistent. You're going to
Mm,
have that bucket filled at all times if you're
yeah,
starting
yeah,
to build consistency. Because he said it earlier, you're going to go through storms. But if that bucket stays filled with resilience, you can always go in and get something. But if
mm-hmm.
it's empty, you got an issue, right?
Mm,
And then after that one, encourage yourself to keep going, even when you don't want to. Even
man.
when you see the results, even when
Ooh,
the arms, when you see the six pack coming in, you got to keep going. Because why? Like I told y'all for Kobe, he was working on what he needed to do in the off season so he could be ready in his season, right?
man.
Stewardship. Like God's like when in this thing when he fed the 4,000s, Jesus asked them, "But what do you have?" Before you ask me for something, what do you have? Are you consistently stewarding over what I've already given you so that you can
Man.
find the extra in it? And then the last one, bro, the last S in this press,
Mm-hmm.
salvation. Salvation
Yeah,
is
yeah.
free. You got it already. You
Man.
ain't got to work for it. It says, for whomever believes that I gave my life up, you good with me. The check it's already been cashed. It's already been paid for. Every debt that you have on there, it says paid. It says zero balance. You're good to go. Right? That salvation is there. So why am I saying salvation is important? Because for a lot of us, we don't build on consistency relationship with God because we still think we owe him something.
That's good.
And God say, you don't owe me nothing. I know you don't owe me nothing because I gave Jesus for you already.
Man.
Ah, bro.
The ultimate debt collector, man.
That's it, bro.
Hey, that I hope y'all caught that, man. Go back and listen to Press, man, because that's what you're gonna have to do
Yo,
during your consistent walk. There. I'm sorry. There's no cheat day in this walk with God.
yeah, yeah,
And even if you fall short, the great grace of God is where you can pick right back up at. Like grace is a sustaining thing, right? It sustains you during that consistency building time
yeah.
because God already know we're not perfect. He sent his son Jesus to die for all our sins because he knew we was gonna mess it up. We was gonna all create the cheat days, and one cheat day was gonna turn into 2, 3, 7, 28 day after day. We were all gonna have cheat days because if he left it 100% up to us, we wouldn't show grace. We needed an example,
That's good, bro.
an example of consistent grace to people who didn't like Jesus as he was going on his walk. To the haters, since we're gonna bring it in today's time, Jesus had haters. They consistently hated on him. He consistently loved them, and even when he felt like falling short. Like, look, God, look, Pop, I don't know, man. I just don't know about going on this cross, man. Did you these Negro, these folks over here sleep. I'm the one that gotta go over it. They sleep.
Boy, you
So
know
how,
what?
but hey, if you said this how it's supposed to go, take this bitter cup from him.
Yeah.
Even in consistency when he felt weak, he continued to build on that consistency. He continued to keep pressing on.
Mm.
Right? So if y'all didn't catch a message or a word out of this tonight, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you need to press, you need to start building on your hearing or building on your comprehension or something. I don't know. And I'm not trying to insult you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't have an answer.
Soften
All
your
I
heart.
know is All I know is the one thing, the one formula that works in my life, and that's every aspect of my life, is I'm a consistently, even when I fall short, even when I'm having a great day, a terrible day, an indifferent day, I'm going to consistently go to my Father and give him everything that I have that I'm feeling in me, everything that I ask and pray for. I'm going to put the action in. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to continue to go to God, even when I don't feel worthy. And I think that's where a lot of people are. You feel like you're not worthy enough to go to God. And all he's saying is, I just ask you to come.
That's it,
Right?
man,
Let's go. I'll let you
bro.
close, bro.
Yeah, I have nothing else. I just, man, I hope somebody tonight who needed this word, I hope you got your word up out of it. I hope, I no, I don't even hope. I pray that God literally comes and touch your heart right now to start building consistency. You were lacking somewhere right there, and you just needed confirmation. I pray tonight was your confirmation to let's start doing this together. And hey, man, I'm like I told y'all, man, I'm working on myself too, and I needed
Facts.
to hear a lot of what tonight
Facts.
was. I needed to say it so I can hear it out loud to be like, Jamarcus, yes, you are literally talking to yourself. I know I'm giving you the word to say, but hey,
Yeah.
you talking to yourself. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm praying that everybody the end of this weekend is filled with consistency, with a relationship with God. If you need anything, man, let us know, man. But man, God, thank you for tonight, man. This was
Yes.
good, bro. This
This
was
was
good.
great. Hey man, again, happy birthday to the old guy on the show, man.
Hey,
He turned 79, man. Y'all send him some bedazzled walkers.
here
You know
you
what I'm
go.
saying?
Here you
Hey,
go.
shouts out to all the veterans out there.
Yes,
Happy
yes, yes.
Veterans Day. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for y'all service and all that great stuff. Go enjoy some free food, partially free food. However, go enjoy your day, man. Enjoy your week. And listen, man, consistently build on building that relationship with God. He wants to hear everything. Even if you just finished watching porn before coming to this YouTube, hit your feed. You just got out of a relationship, you sitting over there in tears and you don't know what to do, and this came across, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wants to hear from you. Start building on that consistency.
Yeah,
Keep
yeah.
pressing on because we're not going to be perfect, but we're going to press towards perfection. All right. Have a good one. See y'all on the next one. Be blessed.